Widowy, you gotta weddy up.
Like, that's the last thing. Destiny was a creative flop, in my opinion. I know that there's people that love that game and play it every single day. I hate it. It sucks narrative wise. It sucks gameplay wise. It sucks.
I got a radical. It's not a very good game company, and they're one hit wonder.
That's a good take. That's a good take.
That's it. It's just that simple. They're not a good gaming company. I mean, this is probably going to piss you both off. And some of this is, well, you guys would have been too little when Halo really took off with the OG Xbox. Like, people that were PC gamers at that point, okay, just thought it was like the worst thing ever. Couldn't understand why it was popular. It wasn't even you couldn't even grasp that somebody would play a first-person shooter with a joystick. Although, I mean, some of those guys are pretty amazing. I remember watching MLG, and some of those guys are pretty amazing with a controller / joystick.
Yeah, but you have to admit though, Halo game was way better than anything Quake made.
I don't agree with that. I agree on that. So
I disagree with you, Tommy.
No, I was trying to be like diplomatic about it. You're an idiot. How about
that? I know.
You're a
fucking idiot. An asshole.
You're a moron. Of course not. Of course not. I always felt, but I feel like I'm being diplomatic. I feel like I am being fair. I feel that if keyboard mouse were more accessible at that time, Halo would have never been a thing. I really feel that way. Like no joke. Halo would never. It's just not that good a game. Even the best versions of it aren't that good. And I think
you do remember
Combat Evolved on PC was a fucking blast. I don't care what anyone says.
Because remember, like, originally Halo was supposed to be for the Mac. It was supposed to be for the Mac. That's where it first got showed, is at Mac World.
There's a weakness in the company showing itself right off the bat.
And then they got picked up by Bill Gates as this big launch title.
You know,
so
when Macs weren't even that popular. Let's go to the most niche market when Windows dominates all of it.
But I feel like this about Halo, and I always have. And I'm sure there's good versions. I'm sure, like, I mean, I've played it before. It's not like I totally hate it. I feel like it's the first. They're the first one to find the gold on like, because you guys got to remember that prior to Halo, there really wasn't much first-person shooter, especially multiplayer, at all on any console. First-person shooters were completely for the PC market. Completely. Halo broke the mold. I feel like they're the first game to break the mold and market it to sort of a normie market that are still playing on controllers. And they're the first one in the gold mine. Not that Halo was ever that great a game. I know that's like, I'm really not attacking you, Jay Lee. I really mean this. I mean, I'm not attacking
There's a reason I left.
Yeah, and then I think, well, over time, I think the kinks started showing. I mean, the fact that they wanted to be on Mac, and they just weren't a very good company. Bungie was never good. They were attached to a multi-billion-dollar company, and they were the first ones in the gold mine, and it wasn't that great. Now, I'm sure people are going to listen to this and say, that's crap, and this version and that version. And you know what? You're probably right. But the test of time, CS is still hot. You know, your game is not. That says something about the company, and it might say something about the product.
Well, and the problem is with this Marathon game that they came out with, Marathon was an IP they owned before they ever came out with Halo, right? It was a actual like story narrative, level like game, and they bring it back and people are all excited, but guess what? It's an extraction shooter. It's more focused on the PvP, PvE, but it doesn't have the narrative that it did back in the day. And that's why a lot of people are just like, I was never going to touch this because like, the extraction shooters are everywhere. They're now the new battle royale.
Yeah, they are
of the 2020s. Sure. Because remember, like we had like how many battle royales come out like in the 2010s?
Sure. When we started with DayZ and then H1Z1, and it just kind of expanded from there, and it's kind of hit a wall. And now we're in the extraction shooter age, which I don't really think that's even the worst thing in the world. I think it's just the way things go. These games cost so much that they have to go with sure things.
They got to go with safe picks. With how much money they're spending
at this level. We're talking
because even they did, like you said, with Marathon, they even went the safe pick and they fucking blew all that money.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
So
like, well, at least they're doing better than 343. I mean, Halo Studios.
Well, here's the thing. Tell me why Halo's good. Explain to me. Explain to me, the boomer. Why Halo's
for me,
good.
It's always been the narrative was always fun. It was an expansive story. the community for the time whenever
the story. I'm gonna give you the story. I'll concede in the story. Why is Halo good game compared to other games?
It is one of the most fun games to play with a socially
gameplay
ever
from
made.
moment to moment. Gameplay from moment to moment, whether you're playing single player, co-op with friends, or multiplayer, you always have that 30 seconds of just insane fun moments when you first pick it up, and it's gone on for years and years and years. That's why I stuck with it for so long.
But I mean, nobody plays it. Nobody plays.
Fuck that. Go to Halo 3. Do custom game lobbies, Tommy. That is what made Halo
what did you
great.
say? What did you say before though? You said it was the most, as far as the social aspect. Repeat.
One of the most fun experiences, so like in a social way of playing games ever. They did the best.
It was the thing that started the pre-game lobby shit talk.
Yeah.
For
I'm
my
getting
generation.
to a point. Say that again, verse. I'm getting to a point.
Okay.
All right. Well, say that. Repeat yourself.
It was
again.
It was the most fun that a game had socially, like the social aspect of it.
The reason it was the first game you could play like that socially on a console, and that's kind of my whole point. They were just the first one through the door. You know, they had a really good system for OG Xbox as far as like making LANs, internet connections, stuff like that.
I mean, they did the framework for what games you have now, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
right.
With the way Forge
had
is,
that for years at that point. Remember,
yeah,
this comes out
listen,
99, 2000.
so like the way Forge is and how in depth you can go and make completely custom experiences on custom maps and entirely
on
custom
console. All that stuff
modes
was
and everything.
available for another 7 years prior to that on PC. And then,
I gotta defend Tommy on that. PC had the map makers way before.
This is kind of my whole point. I think, we're talking about first person shooters and attraction shooters being the thing. Well, guess what was back then? Or I'm sorry, battle royals. But back then it was first person shooters. This was the first game, and good for them.
It's the first one that made it mainstream, which is what's important.
Yes, and they put it all together with they made it accessible for normies to play first-person shooters, the decent first-person shooters. I think this was the first one where I never thought it was.
No, they're not the. Yeah, no, I know they're not the first, but they're the ones that did it, and then the most influential.
They're the ones that did it
because now
console. And I really
because
think
now
that's why it hasn't lasted.
Roblox. Roblox has all their custom games. That's what their thing is. Fortnite has all their custom stuff. Like all these games are just built on that for a lot of it. Like what makes them so big.
Well, and like you said, it was the first social aspect for like the console market.
Mainstream that put it together.
They built it there, and then look at Call of Duty. Call of Duty 4 was the first one. It took them all the way to Call of Duty 4 before they got that social aspect of the pre-game lobbies and everything else. And Halo 3 had already been out and everything. So they basically just kept building, and every other game wanted to crush the Halo killer. Like any first-person shooter wanted to take over that Halo market to the point that Call of Duty took over, and then Halo had to try and copy their trends to try and keep up.
It never came back.
No. Right.
Wasn't that good a game? It was all right. It was all right.
Jay Lee's getting pissed.
I'm
not trolling you. I'm not trolling you. I mean, I would.
I know.
I would.
Yeah, I know.
The face he made though, when you're like, and it's just not a good game. There's nothing they could do. He had the most sour look on his face.
How many years?
It's like I just saw
how many years
my
were you
dog.
a Call of Duty content creator? How many years, Jay Lee?
How many years was I Call of Duty?
Yeah, not Call of Duty. Excuse me, Halo content creator. How many years?
Well, I've been playing Halo since like 2003, and then I started creating in 2014, a few years before I met you.
And then you retired it last year? So like 11 years.
2024. 2024.
11 years.
So I did. Yeah, I did 11 years, and I was already checked.
Your game sucks. Your game sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks.
You are listening to Ready Up Retard.